Welcome everybody, this is Bulldog here to talk about the latest OP data disk, and that is this Ruthless Swiftness. So they took away our cooling systems that were bugged. They couldn't really get it fixed, so they just got rid of it. Let's see if they're going to do the same thing to this one, because I kind of think it's bugged or not. We'll debate that here in a second. But the way this works is that, okay, it says when an enemy falls below 100% health, all allies gain X% turn meter, depending on how strong your data disk is there. I thought that meant whenever they go from 100% health to less than 100% health. What it means is anytime their health, they basically, anytime they get damaged and their health is less than 100%. So if they go from 100% health to 70% health, it triggers. If they go from 70% health to 50% health, it triggers. If they go from 50 to 49, it triggers. So let's look at this right here. That means you can string together with just, so I've got 3 of them equipped. If you put 4 of them, if you put 5 of them, you can essentially get 100% turn meter for your entire team every time you damage somebody less than 100% health. This works very, very well with this Rebel squad. Why? Because Han's always going to go first. Combined with all of the assists and everything, he can usually drop somebody below 100% health. If he does, your whole team gets 100% turn meter. You can see, I mean, we've got Piet there who gained some turn meter on his own, but other than that, everybody else is at 0% turn meter. And they pretty much never get to take a turn because we're just gaining so much turn meter. This CLS squad has a lot of turn meter gain anyways. But you pair it with this, and this just destroys teams. It absolutely destroys teams. Let's look at this. Here we've got pretty low stamina, and we're gonna go up against a Darth Revan squad. Now this is a team that can beat a Darth Revan squad, but remember they've got their modifiers on there for Sith as well, and this is just going to be easy. It's going to be easy despite the low stamina, despite their modifiers. I've got the only other data disk I have equipped is the one that increases the leader speed and health and offense and all that. Just one. So all you need for this is, I mean, you could actually do it with even 1 or 2 is helping, but you get 3 or 4 out and you can combine these loops and you've still got 8 other spots, 9 other spots to add other data disk. And this is just ridiculously powerful. I actually discovered it. I wish I had it recorded. I actually discovered it when I was trying to remove turn meter from Rey, and I was using the Vader lead, and every time I hit Rey, I kept getting full turn meter, and I was making these loops, and I was like, "What the heck is going on?" So I kind of played around with it a little bit, and found out this is what's going on, and it is pretty insane, and you can use it against so many teams. I'm just going to run through a bunch of battles here as I was going through my Galactic Conquest, and you can see every time somebody takes damage, even if they are already below 100% health, it's going to give your entire team all of that turn meter. And just like we had with those with our cooling systems, where it's a 1 dot data disk, we've got the same here, where it only cost us 1. It only cost us 1, so there's so much room to add so many other things. I'm playing here with 6 out of 12, so I've got half my slots used, and 3 of those are on the one for the lead that I kind of wish I could take off. Although you could combine that. So my actual original intent for this was to have a fun Imperial Trooper squad. So I was planning to essentially have Gideon in the lead and make him pretty fast, so then he could go before most other teams and could remove all that turn meter and call a bunch of assists. And hopefully we could drop somebody below 100% health, and that would give us some turn meter, and then we could defeat them, and with all the Imperial troopers and all the bonuses they get, that would trigger, and it was kind of going to be like your normal Imperial trooper team, but on steroids, where they were also gaining it when everybody lost their protection as well. And it just kind of evolved into this. I really think it's bugged. It depends on how you want to interpret the data disk. I can't imagine they intended it to be this powerful at this low of a cost. So here you see we've got a Grievous team. Things didn't start all that smoothly, but then once you get the health down, it's just continuous turns. Now they're getting some counters and getting a little bit of turn meter from from the exposes there, but despite that strong start, it's a breeze once you get this going. So what data disk would you actually want to put in to fill those final slots? You could add some of those data disks that give you extra offense, whether it's starting with the offense up and the crit damage and that type of thing at the start of the turn, whether it's just a flat offense crit damage increase or stacking offense every time you get a buff. But adding some offense will allow you to get through their protection faster, so to make sure that you start that turn meter train. You can also add things like that protection up at the beginning of the turn. So I think it goes up to 75% protection up to start the battle. And that way, even if you're not faster, you can absorb a bunch of hits. And then you can load your guys up with some offense or something like that. So then when it's your turn, you've still got everybody there. You haven't lost anybody. And you can go to town and start your turn meter train. So there are a lot of different combinations that you can pair with these data disks. They are extremely valuable. And yeah, ideally, eventually once we get here, I think by this point I've actually collected 4 of them. So every time I damage somebody, we're getting, it's like 90 something turn meter. So you can see I just kind of left Yoda over there and used him. Okay, everybody take their turn, and then somebody hit Yoda towards the end, then we'd gain more turn meter. And then by that time we had Padme down, and then it was game over by then. But it's kind of like intentionally leaving somebody low just to be the guy to bang on whenever you need a little bit of turn meter for the entire team, and then you go hit on somebody else once everybody gets some turn meter. And there are different ways to play this, and it's actually been quite a bit of fun. Isn't it sad that the most fun we have, or at least me, and now obviously this doesn't apply to everybody, but with this with this new game mode, the most fun I've had is when we're finding something broken and all these things we can play around with, all these exploits where you get all the infinite loops and that type of thing. So now I know everybody doesn't like that. I like finding the infinite loops and that type of thing, and doing things that we're not supposed to be doing. So it's been a lot of fun. And honestly, it's kind of sad that I kind of searched around and didn't see anybody using this loop. Not necessarily saying I'm the first to discover it, but I would have found this a lot faster if we were allowed to actually move our data disk around for no charge. I know this has been beaten to death by a lot of other people, but I can't say it enough. CG needs to remove the cost, because it's no fun when you don't have the flexibility to move things around and you don't know at the start what combinations you're going to get. So I'm usually not equipping any data disk at all the first 2 sectors or so, because I don't know what combinations I'm going to have to play around with. I don't know what I'm going to get, and I can't move it around. And it's just not that fun for me most of the time, because I can't move things around and try different things at different points. So that is kind of annoying. But regardless, I found a combination that I like for this run, and I doubt it's going to last very long, but I'm going to have fun with it while I can. So I hope you guys are able to do the same. Thank you guys so much. I will see you around.